forests of Geesthacht conceal many mysterious historical sites, and some of them are much more ancient than the First World War memorials.
Hi guys, my name is Anna and I like little towns. Today we are going to visit Totenhaus, the House of the Dead, burial site of Bronze Age, situated in Grünhof-Tesperhude.
A surprising discovery was made in 1932 in the Grünhof-Tesperhude district of Geesthacht. On the farm grounds of Christian family, on the western edge of the Affendorfer Heath, there were 3 hills. During the demolition of one of these hills, workers of the farm owner came across old graves that turned out to be an unusual and important burial site of the Bronze Age. Excavation under direction of the archaeologist Carl Kersten revealed a rectangular stone packing with post holes and 2 grave hollows, in which 3 coffins were located. Further research indicates that a Totenhaus, House of the Dead, made of fieldstone, wood and clay-plastered wattle walls, was built over the graves. After a mourning ceremony, the house was burned, and its remains were covered with an approximately 3-meter-high mound of earth. The Totenhaus was a scaled-down replica of a dwelling of that time, built on the fieldstone pave area. 12 tree trunk posts, with a diameter of 30 centimeters, supported a hipped roof. The holes that held the posts can still be seen clearly. Based on the additions, 3 small spiral rolls made of bronze wire, remnants of a thin neck ring, and a fibula. The grave was identified as a young woman's grave from the Bronze Age. Next to it was a smaller tree coffin of a 2-year-old child, buried without any additions. The House of the Dead dates from 1250–1050 BC, when the Trojan War was waged and when Moses led the Israelites to Canaan and proclaimed the 10 Commandments, 500 years before the founding of Rome, the Eternal City. During the Bronze Age, 1700–500 BC, weapons, tools, and jewelry were often made of bronze, shiny status symbols, which followed their owners into the graves. Obviously, the deceased were of immense importance to the local population. They were placed into the graves in their traditional costumes and with their accessories. The burial hills were then covered with grass or heather and could therefore be considered an additional pasture land. Subsequent generations widened the hills to accommodate more dead people. This hill contained 5 burials in total, 3 graves with hollowed-out oak trunks coffins, in addition to the House of the Dead. These 3 coffins were protected from robbery by a stone packing. They are also classified as the Bronze Age, around 1500 BC. The southern part of today's Schleswig-Holstein, especially the Altmoranen area, was influenced by the Lüneburg group, a northern branch of the southern German Hillgrave-Ilmenau culture. Before the excavation, the local villagers were asked about the hill. One told a legend that he had learned from his grandparents. They reported to him around 1875 that this hill was haunted, and that in this mountain there was a pyre. There were great fires in ancient times. The agreement of the content of this legend with the archaeological evidence is a proof that the story of this place has been passed down orally for around 3,200 years. The House of the Dead documents a stage of development in the cultural history of mankind. The way people deal with the dead, for example by setting up burial sites and memorial facilities, indicates a specific awareness of people in the area of tension between life and death. The farewell to life and the associated pain for the bereaved gives life meaning in a social context. It is not just the awareness of one's own mortality that characterizes people, but the certainty of sharing this awareness with the community.
Burial rituals were important in all times of the history, establishing the connections between young and old generations.
To date, 12 houses of the dead are known almost exclusively from Lüneburg Heath. The House of the Dead in Grünhof-Tesperhude is the only site north of the Elbe. We don't know the exact shape of the buildings, which doesn't always seem to have been uniform, nor does this form of burial make sense to us. Were the dead laid out first? Why were the buildings burned together with the coffins? Was this ritual designed only for special dead? Can these questions ever be answered?